Hi everyone, I'm here on my little channel today to talk about some thoughts that came to me over the weekend when I was looking for some shoes. And I was wondering mechanically how the season change from summer to winter actually affects pain in the body, and how sometimes we may think that in the winter we get more aches and pains, especially around like our lower back on our hips, or maybe through our legs. People sometimes just assume it's the change of weather, or like, you know, they're just a bit more achy in the winter, not feeling great. Yeah, so what I kind of notice now, like current trending fashions in the summer for people to wear are very wide shoes. So today I'm sporting my slipper Croc. Still got the tag in there. I bought it yesterday, right? So people are wearing Crocs now. Crocs are very in. We had Birkenstocks this year. Very wide on the bottom, lots of space for your foot to spread. Okay, so when your foot is spread properly, you have even weight distribution around your feet, which means all your muscles are firing correctly as much as they can depending on your posture, and you're using, as long as your feet aren't too deformed, you're using all 10 toes, and your back, torso, hips tend to be a lot happier. Then my thoughts were, when I got out my old winter boots this week, is that these are them. And they're actually very narrow-toed. So when we stuff our feet into sort of winter boots, gum boots, or wellies if you're at home, you then go from having a really widespread, nice, even foot to a very narrow, squished-in foot, which over time, or over a day of wearing, or a couple of weeks of wearing, if you walk around, or you walk to work, or you go on a walk, or even some running shoes, especially brands like Nike that have the very thin front, actually really mess with your hips and your feet. So you're suddenly going to start walking around on feet that are very squished together. This is going to change all the lines, all the muscular lines up through your leg, and start changing the position of your hips and how you walk. All because your feet are stuffed in a very narrow shoe, all in the space of a couple of days. We kind of go from summer and then we just go straight into our winter shoes. So ways around this are definitely looking at still being barefoot at home, sort of wearing your socks if you've got really cold floors, or just barefoot if you feel warm enough at home. The second one as well is looking for the brands that like still sort of have a very wide front in the shoe. So I do like a lot of the New Balance trainers. They are very good for spreading the feet. Not all of them, but most of them are, and I use them for my son as well. I've got my slipper Crocs when I'm around the studio, and Crocs actually do a welly gum boot, that's probably the widest one for evenly spread toes, whereas some of the other brands, they are so thin at the front. If you're going out for like a nature walk or out and about, just not the best for you whatsoever. And you will start noticing sort of lower back pain, hip pain, which can then actually over time, if you're wearing these boots, or even just your winter boots for work, which in fashion are very thin to the front, like you need to start looking for a really chunky foot. Yeah, so yeah, there's the Crocs. Some hiking boots have very wide front because they have sort of like the steel cap. Yeah, and just finding winter shoes that are not taking your foot from having a really healthy spread into this over the space of a couple of weeks. And finding those are really going to help you with lower back pain.